What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Path of Exile. So, a few days ago, the Abyss League has started, and I honestly didn't know if I wanted to play it for recording or I just wanted to play it on my own time. So, I got to level 41. The league came out like 2 days ago or 3 days ago at this point, and right now I am level 41, and right before we wrap up Act 4. And the reason why I decided to record this is, one, because I've never actually completed everything past Act 4. Back like 2 patches ago is when they added Act 5 to 10, and I never actually completed that. So we're going to do that for the series. And I'm not really sure if characters after the league ends, they get transferred back to standard, or is it just your items? So we're about to find that out as well. And yeah, so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the series. I know it's not from the start of Act 1, but I still don't know what kind of build I really want. So that's why we're moving on to a spot where we haven't actually done anything. So in my experience, all I've done is beat Act 4, and then that was it. I don't think I've played much after that. But anyway, hopefully before we start, you guys are going to enjoy the series. And I still don't know what kind of build I want to this day. I have a duelist, and yeah. So we have to travel to the harvest. I'll try to explain everything. So if you've never heard of Path of Exile before, it's kind of like an RPG action. I hate to compare it to other games, but it's, if you ever played like Diablo, Torchlight, and all that stuff, it's kind of like that. But Path of Exile is obviously better. So anyway, we're going into the harvest. It's level 40. If you guys have any recommendations for melee builds, definitely let me know, because to this day I still have no idea what I want to play, and it's kind of interesting actually. So we're near the end of Act 4. The new theme of this league is Abyss, and what that is like you'll see a yellow or a green portal on the area, and you kind of just follow the on this trail, and then you kill stuff, and then you get rewards, kind of like that. So anyway, we're moving on. We got to find 2 more organs. Wait, hold on. When you log back in, that means you... Man, this is kind of weird, actually. Like, having double auras. I don't have a lot of extra reserved mana.
My spirit is spent.
So basically, just as a little, before we start into any combat, I don't have the best gear right now. I'm doing self-found for the most part, but I'm doing the Sunder build, which is, you know, not really unique. A lot of people do it, but I mean, it's worth doing. And pretty much gonna, if I get some sort of chest piece with 6 link, I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. Enduring Cry, this area is, I have no idea what I'm doing with it. Hatred with an aura, when I get more, or like a better mana pool. And we have Whirling Blades as our emergency escape. For the most part, it's not really much of a damage. And I had Cyclone, but I was previously using it, but then I don't think it's worth using anymore.
Exquisite.
I can't do this just yet.
Be still.
So I know if you're just now getting into the series and you have no idea what's going on, and we're starting off with a boss, we're near the end of the act, which is usually when you have to fight all the stuff and things get wrecked. But don't worry, there's like a lot of minions and stuff as well.
Into a wonder.
Take comfort, Meligaro. An artist's work is always worth more when he's dead.
Okay, so we got 2 out of the 3 pieces, and we just have to find 1 more remaining organ, and then we could find the Act 4 boss, and that's going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, I'll try to do my best to explain things as a newer player who has never heard of this game before. So like if you see items on the ground and stuff, I'll try to explain what they mean. And hopefully you guys have a little understanding of this. So you see items on the ground that have a little like blue or yellow square around it. Essentially what that means is every item in this game has a gem slot, if you will, and it represents the color of the gem you could put into the item. So it could go from 1 through 6 of them, so really just RNG what you find. And you can obviously, the currency in this game is used for like retrading your weapons and armor. So like if you see something with 2, that means it has a yellow and a green, and that means that there's like a green and a yellow. So you can obviously change them, but it's the currency in this game is what you use to do everything. Okay, so I never really understood this boss because I haven't done it that many times, but from my understanding is you see the little purple, green, and red. The color means the kind of debuff you get on you. So like obviously standing in all 3 means you get affected by all 3, but I think the best way is to limit what you're standing in. Like, I think purple is temporal change, which means you get slowed and you take more damage. I'm not sure what green, it tells you at the top. Lazy.
I didn't catch a word of what you said, Doedri. That's probably
42.
a good thing.
But I think that was my understanding of how that boss fight worked. By the way, this game is also free to play, just in case you've never heard of it, so you can play this if it looks interesting to you as well.
You, my champion.
Okay, so kill all 3 of the Guardians. I'm not sure where the chevron is. Hook sword? What is that? So from what I heard, usually melee builds are not the greatest in this game because being a caster is generally better. And I've known that for a while, it's just I enjoy playing melee builds, even if it's significantly worse. So I actually played, believe it or not, for all of you who are new here, I have played Path of Exile since launch, well just like not since launch, but like off and on. Every season I play for a little bit and then so we see what's happening. And you can actually portal in boss rooms, so if you die you just port back. Oh goodness, we got wrecked.
Such lovely material. Beauty shall prevail. Slice away the ugly! Give in to grace!
Could have sworn I fought her before. So one thing I'm lacking right now is a lot of cold resist, and that's gonna be super important. Wait, you can go up here. So I'll do a quick abyss just to show you what the theme of this this league is. Get up to it. Let me just clear out these real quick. Alright, so you see these green things on the map right here. These are called Abyss, and you follow it, basically, and then a lot of things spawn out of it. If you kill things quick enough, then you get a reward. And then obviously there's bosses in between. So you follow, just kill things.
I can't do this just yet.
It's hard to see those various bosses. Alright, so after you do that, if you're fast enough, you get a thing called an abyssal trove right here, and then it just gives you a lot of
I
gear.
believe in traveling light.
And then the things over here, the gems, the stuff you put inside your armor and weapons, these are the gems. They have levels, and then through time they just level up. Alright, so what do I want? I'm not really sure, actually. I'm gonna be playing Tetris a lot. Oh, God. That was basically the theme of it, and there's a lot of them throughout town.
I believe in traveling light.
So the way this also works
do you need
is
now?
when you sell items, you can ID them, and then I don't know why I picked that up, actually. When you sell it, you get currency to trade. I still can't use that. And then you have your stash where you can deposit currency and all that stuff. I think I'm close enough to level 42. I'll just keep that there. Alright, so we gotta go back to the harvest, and we killed all the bosses. Now we can go into the core. So I believe going in here is the final boss of Act 4. And
What a pleasure to finally meet
this boss is actually kind of difficult, so if I die a couple of
you. You and I
times...
will create the most beautiful of nightmares together. Let us bathe you in blood, duelist, so that this world might be bathed in glory.
Now, Exile!
So this boss has a couple of phases where it's like you have to be on your feet thinking about what's going to happen next. I know mechanics. We have to actually...
What?
Now, Exile!
Die and be reborn. Embrace the future.
So the way this boss works is he goes into his shield mode, and this boss over here, it was the mini one that we fought earlier in the game, and you pretty much just have to like do mechanics. I know.
Let us see if you truly understand what it means to be Nightmare.
I believe this part is actually more difficult than the first one. Well, like it should be, but still. It's just like the reason why this fight is hard is not really because of the mechanics. It's more just like the area you fight in versus
Nightmare gave me so much more.
like the actual boss. Like you don't have too much time to maneuver around.
My spirit is spent.
Tough part is aiming this.
Selfish.
Back in the day when you did this when they had difficulties in this game, like normal, cruel, merciless. On merciless, this was actually really difficult. And nowadays, it's just, you know, kind of somewhat face roll. We still have to do mechanics. So what happens, like, during this phase is you have to do the heart thing again. You get too close to it, you really have to stay at a range. This is why melee is more difficult. Usually you can heal through it by just potting in advance.
Nightmare is the true eternal.
standing in that is not good.
Are you so in love with death?
This is where mechanics keep happening.
You are being selfish.
That was kind of
It's
difficult,
a strange
actually.
feeling when the fighting is done.
So that wraps up Act 4, and then we're gonna go on. So everything like upcoming is completely new to me, and I have no idea what's gonna happen. The struggle when you have like zero, what is it? You don't have any wisdom identifying scrolls.
There's no arena, no.
You are confused. Life will go on.
Access the ascent from the eastern side of Highgate. Right. So I've never done anything else before, so I don't know where I'm going, what's happening.
They act with care.
I wish if you hovered over something, it would just tell you where. But I assume our goal is over there. So I think starting here is Act 5, and it's completely new to me.
My spirit is spent.
Wow, you can hit things up there. That's something they gotta work on with all the classes. Like you can, if you have a huge AoE, you can hit things on the top of the mountain. It's kind of weird, but I don't know if that's intentional. So things we have here is like you get a reward, as you guys can see. However, we have to fight a lot of enemies, so to limit our chances of success, we usually kill all this stuff on us. Sweet. Regret orb. We're almost at level 42. And the way potions work in this game is by killing enemies. Whatever potion you have slotted regenerates, I guess you can say. So it's not like you have to restock or anything. It's just not being bad. Okay, so moving on. So this is your skill tree. Every class starts at a different point, and it's pretty time-consuming thinking about what you want to do. I think I want to choose this one because my cold resist is really low, and 75 is the cap, I believe, and it tells you if you go over. So this area looks like it does a lot of cold damage, hence the cold resist.
Spirit is spent.
So let's learn what we learned from other MMOs in the past, group everything up before AoEing it. Ooh, Sunder leveled up. That's our main spammable. By the way, let me know how the audio is so I can always adjust it in the future. But if it's anything's too loud or too quiet, let me know.
Captain Tavares, altitude is imperative to forging a stable connection with the prime resonator in Theopolis. Power source is equally vital. Locate a fissure in the mountainside and lower a conductive cable into it. The deeper, the better. It will take an immense amount of thaumaturgical energy to execute the successful disintegration and transmission of objects, both inanimate and animate, between Highgate and Theopolis. For that kind of power, we must tap the origin. I needn't remind you of the consequences should either of those elements prove deficient. That is why I would like you, Tavares, to be the first to test the resonator once it is operational. Accountability is a perfect counterweight to ambition. High Templar Dominus.
Basically, playing a melee class without huge AoEs is pretty bad. I've learned that from experience before. They use Sunder as well. Haven't found that many abyss things yet. Where we're going, I think it's top. I need all the wisdom scrolls I can get. I think I need better jewelry as well, because the ones I have are just not great. Okay, so it's probably bottom around here. Those grates are creepy. Do I want that? Not really. Maneuvers. The reason why I portaled there is if I died, I would have to walk all the way back. I definitely do not want to do that.
Spirit is spent.
Alright, we did it. This is the Act 5 area, I believe, because it gives you, well, all the NPCs from the previous acts are there. I need level 43 and a lot of dex, so I might hold on to this one, but we can get rid of all of this stuff.
Ha! Talakut.
Reward. I think I need cold resist. don't really need the split hybrid resist. I just need straight up gold. Energy shield, all resist, lightning. Cool. All right, let's see. Alrighty, so this seems like a good place to stop our first video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.